Welcome to this presentation on the rise of consumerism in healthcare. The patient experience counts almost as much as care delivery these days. Today, we will explain why that should matter to your healthcare system or practice. My name is Scott D'Entremont. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for Parlance, and I'm joined by Stephanie Wilson, the Vice President of Vanguard Communications.
Hi, Scott. Great to be here. As you mentioned, I'm Stephanie Wilson from Vanguard Communications. We're a healthcare consulting, process improvement, and marketing firm serving academic and specialty practices for nearly 30 years.
Let's start by talking about the patient experience. Every organization is aiming to provide great service, but it's especially important in healthcare. Many of the callers are ill or concerned about a loved one, and it's the best opportunity organizations and healthcare organizations in particular have to really put their best foot forward. The fewer obstacles, the less friction, the easier it is for folks to receive care from our healthcare providers, the more loyal they'll be. It just makes sense to make it easy to access healthcare. And it's something we can all relate to. After all, we've all been a patient at one time or another, or have helped facilitate care for one of our loved ones. We want it to be as easy as possible. Of course, there have been many studies that show the link between customer satisfaction and loyalty, and Stephanie's got some great information to share.
Yes, at Vanguard, we are regularly conducting research into the patient and provider experiences. As Scott illustrated, it's a new day for doctors as patients are empowered by choice. Patients no longer have to rely on PCP referrals to find specialists, nor do they feel the need to be loyal to a practice where they don't feel respected or cared for as a person. To succeed in attracting and retaining patients, practices and providers need to turn their attention to creating a positive experience by shifting their perspective about what they do away from just providing medical care to a broader scope of delivering excellent customer service. This shift in patient behavior can be attributed to that free global research tool known as the Internet. With an abundance of websites such as WebMD, Healthgrades, Yelp, and Google, not to mention individual practice websites, patients and their loved ones are empowered to conduct their own research online before contacting a provider. A study of Google Trends we conducted here at Vanguard shows that people search for information on symptoms, conditions, and treatments 10 times more often than looking for a provider. Armed with access to that health information, when patients do narrow their search for a provider, they're searching for that positive patient experience, evaluating the plethora of choices using ratings, reviews, and social media. Nowhere does that experience make itself more visible than patients' online reviews of doctors and clinics. So let's review why online reviews do matter. According to a 2015 patient survey, 77% of patients use online reviews like those on Yelp and Healthgrades as a first step in finding a new physician. 88% of patients will read reviews about a provider even after they've been referred by a physician, and that's according to a Doctor.com 2020 Customer Trends in Healthcare report. That same study states that among all online resources, patients clearly prefer Google and other search engines to find a doctor, it's at 82.8%, with insurance websites coming in second place at 57.6%. So patients are looking to sites like Yelp and Google to guide their decision when choosing a doctor. And that means a practice's customer service can make or break their ability to attract new patients. Practices with a 4+ star rating out of 5 stars send a clear signal that patients will likely have a good experience, whereas a negative patient experience can easily turn into a negative online review, thereby losing valuable reputation points that could turn patients away. For example, according to a report by Moz, a search data and support organization, businesses can lose up to 22% of potential customers from just one negative comment that shows up on search results, and that can double with 2 negative comments. A Bright Local survey also showed that a single negative review can cost a business an average of 30 customers. So the takeaway here, online reviews are a big part of a practice's ability to succeed, and reviews are driven by a patient experience. At Vanguard, we conduct research into patient behavior. One of our studies of nearly 35,000 online patient reviews revealed that 96% of patient complaints about doctors and practices actually stem from customer service-related experience complaints, not about the care delivered.
Wow, Stephanie, that's great information. Really incredible statistics. It's really true. It's exactly what we see in the field with our customers and prospects every single day. People tend to complain about the phone much more so than healthcare. One of the places where we've really helped clinics has been able to take away some of the calls that they receive that are taking their attention away from being really able to provide great service to the person that's standing right in front of them. One of the things we have clinics think about is that phone experience and just how focused the person that answers the phone is able to be both on the phone while multitasking and trying to help the person that's also in front of them. If that's not a great experience, either the person on the phone suffers or the person in front of them, and sadly, sometimes both. We recommend that clinics really think about the phone experience. There are questions that must be answered by someone in the clinic that is the only person that can provide the answer. But if there's other information that can be handled by an automated system, it's much easier and a much better experience ultimately for the caller. We just encourage clinics to really think about that phone experience. After all, people sort of shut down when they hear that options, listen closely because options may have changed. We're just all consumers, we're all patients, we're all people that call places. And if we're giving that kind of experience to these patients and to these callers, I don't think we're doing the best job we possibly can. A lot of customer experience and patient experience really comes down to making it easy. And automation can make it a lot easier for people. They can have friction-free access to the folks that they really need to get access to. So if you know who you would want to speak with, you can simply ask for it rather than needing to be on hold. If more calls can be resolved on the first attempt, people are going to be a whole lot happier. Lots of healthcare service and the customer service side of it at the front desk in the clinics is provided by people. And a real improvement to the service comes by making the phone experience easier and better, where that person at the front desk now has more opportunity to interact directly with the person standing right in front of them. They're both happier. We've all had the experience where we're at the front desk at the clinic needing to check in and the person in front of you is busy on a phone call. It's frustrating, and it would be better for both if that was an easier process. Of course, it's no fun for the person at the front desk as they endure dirty looks from the patient in front of them.
What Scott is saying is so true. Our process improvement division at Vanguard identifies common inefficiencies in academic and specialty practices that are the most common triggers for negative reviews and low star ratings. Phone issues, of course, are a big one. Others include billing errors, rude staff, poor communication about next steps, not setting patient expectations in advance, and long wait times for the provider. In today's digital age, a practice reputation hangs on how a doctor and practice staff make a patient feel. Medicine is no different from retail and restaurants, and in fact, consumers hold medical practices to a higher standard. In a Doctor.com survey, 82% of people said they believed that the healthcare industry should consistently meet or exceed their expectations as a consumer, compared to just 46% expecting that of retail services. Expectations tie directly into what the medical industry often refers to as patient satisfaction. Although this term is often used interchangeably with what we're talking about, the patient experience, they aren't quite the same thing. The medical industry will often use patient satisfaction scoring systems like HCAHPS surveys to evaluate if the practice is providing the bare minimum basic patient expectations, like a proper diagnosis, appointment reminders, and standard patient appointment flow. While this might satisfy basic expectations, it will hardly lead to highly satisfied patients. To create a truly positive patient experience, practices have to deliver above and beyond customer service to exceed the patient's basic expectations. Patients notice when they receive superior service like personal attention from their provider and feeling like they have time for questions during their appointment. By creating a meaningful, memorable patient experience and delivering something extra that other practices don't, will exceed a patient's expectations and set your practice apart. The reality is a medical practice is a business, and it's in competition against other practices and health systems to win patients. Patients expect at minimum expert medical care. What will win them over is exceeding those expectations with 5-star customer service, such as friendly providers and staff, convenient scheduling, easy access to information, clear communication, streamlined billing, and efficient appointments. Make the choice clear. Provide excellent customer service to create happy patients. Happy patients will then share how you made them feel and tell others why they should choose your practice.
Of course, it's cost prohibitive to have 2 separate staffs to man the front desk and answer phone calls. This is where automation can really benefit everyone. Things like directions could be simply asked for in the phone menu. Maybe routine questions could be answered. The more we can free up the front desk person to give good service to the folks that are in front of them and make it easier for the callers, the better the experience is for everybody. There's a great opportunity for the clinics that can remove some of these obstacles and improve the experience. After all, as our parents and grandparents said, you only have one opportunity to make a first impression. And for new patients or continuing patients, that experience on the phone often either reinforces or, a good feeling or reminds us something else we might not have liked about the practice. Keeping in mind that very, very few complaints are ever about the actual healthcare, it's really in everyone's best interest to do the very best job that we can to have the best possible phone experience. Just as, of course, you make sure that everybody smiles and the clinic and the practice is kept clean, this is just one more important thing to do to make sure that you have your very best foot forward at all times. Another huge touch point are websites. The easier we can make those, try to take a cue from the speech business where you can just ask for what you want, will go a long way towards making a better patient experience. Some of your callers have gone to the website first. Older websites are frustrating for younger people to understand and get the answers that they need. Perhaps making your website better will result in fewer calls. Some of the websites we've all been forced to look at with COVID-19 vaccination appointments are pretty challenging. You have to ask yourself, does it remind you of your website at all? We don't want to waste anyone's time. We want to make it easy and frictionless. Making it easier to make appointments and get good service at our clinics means people will stay, and we can worry a little bit less about revenue leakage. After all, people have choices. Stephanie, I know that you have some specific ideas about this.
I do. To exceed expectations and create high patient satisfaction, here are some tips on improving practice operations and patient experience that only take an investment of time. Call your practice's phone number. Listen to the phone tree. Select each option. Look for problem areas like extensions not working and opportunities to streamline the options for a shorter phone call. Appoint a current staffer as the dedicated appointment scheduler to answer phones and book appointments. This will keep the front desk clear to interact with patients arriving for their visit. Secret shop your practice. Call your practice as a patient. Are the staff friendly? Can they answer questions? Take notes on this experience and provide customer service coaching to your team when needed. Analyze your practice's online reviews to identify common customer service complaints. Select 1 or 2 pain points to address as a team, and appoint a team leader to gather ideas on how to improve and coordinate improvements. Ask patients to complete a satisfaction survey to gather direct patient feedback for what went well and what needs improvement. Hold all staff meetings to discuss goals for patient satisfaction and delivering 5-star customer service. Discuss common complaints, but also positive comments to guide the team. Check your online contact information and practice hours. Is the information correct? Check your website, online review sites, and social media. Make sure you have access to your practice's online review websites and social media. Respond to questions and reviews to help resolve patient concerns, while being careful to only post responses that are HIPAA compliant. Scott, any parting words?
Stephanie, thanks. That's a great list of tips. Well, one thing's for sure, the rise in consumerism in healthcare isn't going anywhere fast. We would just encourage our clinics and folks that we work with to take a close look at where automation can help and blend it with the right customer service practices to really make the perfect blend wherever you can. It's the right blend of automation and human interaction that creates the best possible experience for patients. Many people calling in need help from a person. It may be a complex issue, and no conversational AI is going to do that the same way.
Thank you for watching our presentation today. If you have any questions about practice marketing, process, or patient experience improvement, please contact me.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. It was great to present this with you today. And thank you to all of our attendees today. I really hope this was helpful.
Vanguard is also offering viewers half-off pricing on an online reputation management audit and report, which is a great tool to kick off analyzing your patient experience. Definitely contact me if you're interested.